Could lie awake just to hear you breathing.
Did you know some of Hollywood's brightest stars tragically passed away in front of live audiences? Their final performances became unforgettable moments in history, both mesmerizing and heartbreaking. Number 10. Julian Arnold.
Black falls and daddy, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. How you went into...
Imagine attending a beloved holiday classic, only to witness a real-life tragedy unfold before your eyes. Such was the case with Julian Arnold, a cherished figure in Edmonton's theater scene. On November 24, 2024, during a performance of A Christmas Carol at Edmonton's Citadel Theater, Arnold, age 60, collapsed on stage while portraying multiple roles, including Marley and Mr. Fezziwig. The audience, initially unaware of the gravity of the situation, soon realized the severity as paramedics arrived promptly at 8:28 p.m. Despite their immediate efforts, Arnold was pronounced dead at the scene. The exact cause of his sudden collapse remains undisclosed. Arnold's unexpected passing sent shockwaves through the Edmonton theater community. The Citadel Theater's executive director, Jesse Van Ryn, and artistic director, Daryl Cloran, expressed their profound sorrow, stating, "His presence brought joy, heart, and depth to every role, and his artistic contributions and big hugs will be deeply missed."
I've actually been playing guitar for a long time. I started playing when I was 15, classical guitar. I learned on the classical. And I've sort of dabbled with other instruments along the way and often played in plays and things like that.
Born and raised in Edmonton, Arnold's passion for the arts was evident from a young age. He earned both a Bachelor of Fine Arts in 1989 and a Master of Fine Arts in Directing in 2006 from the University of Alberta. His dedication to theater led him to co-found the Free Will Players, a company renowned for producing the annual Free Will Shakespeare Festival. Throughout his illustrious career, Arnold graced numerous stages, delivering memorable performances in productions such as The Wizard of Oz, Beauty and the Beast, A Midsummer's Night Dream, and Once. His versatility and charisma endeared him to audiences and colleagues alike. Beyond his theatrical achievements, Arnold was celebrated for his warmth and generosity. David Horak, a member of the Free Will Players, remarked, "He just had the ability to create characters that had the biggest hearts in the world, and he was like that as well, as a person." In the wake of his death, tributes poured in from across the community. The Punctuate Theater, where his wife, Shani Satanov, serves as managing director, honored him, stating, "Julian was a cherished member of the Edmonton theater community whose warmth, talent, and generosity touched." To support Santanov during this challenging time, a fundraiser was established, quickly raising nearly $40,000. The Citadel Theater also dedicated the current season's run of A Christmas Carol to Arnold's memory, modifying the show's schedule to allow the cast and crew time to mourn.
Well, it's a kind of a wonderful exploration of its comedy and love, but at the base, I think it's about how, in order to achieve real love in this life, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're from the upper class or the middle or the low, or what circumstance you come from, there's no sort of easy route to finding love and to maintaining love, especially. But it's good because it's a redemption story for the main character.
Number 9. Dick Shawn.
I'd like you to take a look now at Dick Shawn making his debut.
Imagine attending a comedy show where the performer's collapse is mistaken for part of the act. Such was the tragic fate of comedian Dick Shawn. Born Richard Schulafand on December 1st, 1923, Dick Shawn was renowned for his eccentric comedic style and memorable roles in films like The Producers and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. His performances were characterized by unpredictability and a unique brand of humor that kept audiences engaged. On April 17, 1987, during a performance at the University of California, San Diego Shawn was delivering a monologue about the aftermath of a nuclear war, humorously portraying survivors emerging from bunkers. In a twist of tragic irony, he collapsed face down on stage. The audience, familiar with his comedic antics, initially believed this was part of the act and responded with laughter and applause. Minutes passed before the gravity of the situation became apparent. Stagehands intervened, and Shawn was rushed to Ship's Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead from a massive heart attack at the age of 63. The delay in recognizing the emergency highlighted the fine line performers like Shawn tread between comedy and reality. Reflecting on his career, Shawn once remarked, "I don't do jokes, I create situations." This philosophy was evident in his improvisational style and the way he engaged with his audience, often blurring the lines between scripted material and spontaneous performance. Beyond his comedic talents, Shawn was a dedicated family man, survived by his wife, Rita Bachner, and their 4 children. His sudden passing left a void in the entertainment world, prompting fellow comedian and friend Mel Brooks to state, "Dick was one of the greats. His loss is a blow to comedy."
Legends to walk into it. That's why you have computers. There's so much information in the world today, there's no room left to write it down. So man devised computers. The computers broke down, they put on supercomputers. The supercomputers are overloaded, on and on. The only logic in America today comes from the computer. Want to win a football game? The computer will tell you. Want to open up a place of business? The computer will tell you. The only logic today is from the computer. Man's logic means nothing anymore. And maybe it's not too bad an idea. If you realize where the world has come today with man's logic, I say let the machines take over.
Number 8. Warren Marsh. Picture a jazz club filled with soulful melodies when suddenly the music stops as a legend takes his final breath. This was the scene when saxophonist Warren Marsh departed. Born on October 26, 1927, Warren Marion Marsh was a prominent figure in the cool jazz movement, celebrated for his intricate improvisations and collaborations with pianist Lenny Tristano. His technical prowess and emotive playing style earned him a dedicated following among jazz aficionados.
Now, the simple rhythmic relations are the relations that divide the beat into halves, into 3 parts, and into 4 parts.
On December 18, 1987, while performing at Dante's Jazz Club in Los Angeles, Marsh was in the midst of a solo on the standard Out of Nowhere when he suddenly collapsed. Despite immediate medical attention, he was pronounced dead at the scene, having suffered a heart attack at the age of 60. Marsh's unexpected passing shocked the jazz community. Saxophonist Lee Konitz, a longtime collaborator, expressed his sorrow, stating, "Warren was a true original. His voice on the saxophone was unmistakable, and his contributions to jazz are immeasurable." Throughout his career, Marsh remained dedicated to his art, often shunning commercial success in favor of musical integrity. His recordings such as Jazz of Two Cities and Worn Out showcase his innovative approach to harmony and rhythm.
He was explaining the theory of music in terms that are accessible to a jazz musician rather than a composer.
I don't compose anything. See, that's the great difference between jazz and any other kind of music. The music is already in your head. And all you do is let your hands, depending on what instrument you play, reproduce what you hear as you hear it.
Tired of expensive, low-effort script writers for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now.
Number 7. Edith Webster. Imagine an actress performing her character's death scene, only for the audience to realize it's tragically real. This heart-wrenching moment occurred with Edith Webster. Born in 1913, Edith Webster was a dedicated stage actress known for her roles in regional theater productions. Her commitment to her craft and ability to portray complex characters endeared her to audiences and colleagues alike. On November 24, 1986, during a performance of The Drunkard at the Towson Moose Lodge in Baltimore, Webster was enacting her character's death scene, which involved singing "Please Don't Talk About Me When I'm Gone," and then collapsing. Tragically, after delivering her song, she suffered a fatal heart attack and collapsed on stage. The audience, believing it was part of the performance, responded with applause, unaware of the real emergency unfolding. It wasn't until cast members noticed something was amiss that emergency services were called, but Webster was pronounced dead at the scene. She was 73 years old. Her death highlighted the thin line between art and reality in theater. Director John Waters, a Baltimore native, commented, "Edith's passing is a poignant reminder of the dedication actors have to their roles, sometimes blurring the lines between performance and life." Number 6. Tyrone Power.
I'm Tyrone Power, and I want to tell you about a crusade to save life. This is the symbol of hope, the symbol of the American Cancer Society. It is a symbol of progress against cancer. But we are still losing too many we love: mothers, husbands, and children.
Tyrone Power, one of Hollywood's golden era legends, was in his prime when tragedy struck. Known for his captivating performances in films like The Mark of Zorro and Witness for the Prosecution, Power was a beloved actor with charm, good looks, and undeniable talent. In 1958, while filming the historical epic Solomon and Sheba in Madrid, Power was in the middle of a climactic dueling scene with co-star George Sanders. As he moved through the intricate choreography of the sword fight, something went terribly wrong. Power suddenly clutched his chest and collapsed on set, leaving the cast and crew in stunned silence. At first, many thought it was an act or an accident related to the stunt work. However, it quickly became clear that the situation was dire. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but sadly succumbed to a massive heart attack at just 44 years old. The incident shocked Hollywood, as Power had been known for his vitality and athleticism. He had a reputation as a hardworking actor who performed many of his stunts and was admired for his dedication to the craft. His death left the film incomplete, and Yul Brynner was later brought in to replace him in the role. Power's legacy continues to shine through the films he left behind. His career, which spanned over 2 decades, included iconic performances that influenced future generations of actors. He was quoted as saying, "I've lived to work, and that's all I've ever wanted to do." Fans and friends mourned his loss deeply. Marlene Dietrich once said of him, "He was one of the rare actors who could make the camera fall in love with him."
In 1958, one of the industry's most dashing leading men, Tyrone Power, traveled to Madrid to appear in the epic historical drama Solomon and Sheba. While the cameras rolled during a strenuous sword fight sequence, the 44-year-old actor suddenly collapsed and died from a heart attack. The production was soon resumed with the casting of Yul Brynner in the lead role.
Number 5. Leonard Warren.
And from whence old Ireland came, no wonder that we're proud of that delight.
Imagine an opera performance where the lead baritone sings about the gravity of death, only to succumb moments later. This haunting scenario became a reality for Leonard Warren. Born on April 21, 1911 in New York City, Leonard Warren rose to prominence of one of America's premier baritones, especially renowned for his interpretation of Verdi's works. His rich, powerful voice and commanding stage presence made him a staple at the Metropolitan Opera, where he debuted in 1938. On March 4, 1960, during a performance of Verdi's La Forza del Destino at the Met, Warren was delivering the aria Morir Tremenda Cosa, to die, a momentous thing. As he sang these poignant words, he suddenly collapsed on stage. The audience and fellow performers were initially unsure if it was part of the act. However, the tragic reality soon set in. Warren had suffered a massive cerebral hemorrhage and was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. Warren's untimely death at 48 sent shockwaves through the opera community. He was in the prime of his career, celebrated for his roles in operas like Rigoletto and Simon Boccanegra. His colleague, soprano Renato Tebaldi, who was performing with him that evening, was deeply affected by the incident. Reflecting on his artistry, music critic Raymond A. Erickson noted, Leonard Warren was stricken with a cerebral hemorrhage and died during a performance of La Forza del Destino on March 4th. Number 4. Louis Jean Heydt. Picture an actor delivering a compelling scene, only to exit the stage and face an unforeseen fate. Such was the destiny of Louis Jean Heydt. Born on April 7, 1903, in Montclair, New Jersey, Heydt carved a niche in Hollywood as a reliable character actor. He often portrayed the average Joe, bringing depth to roles in films like The Big Sleep and Gone with the Wind. His transition between stage and screen showcased his versatility and dedication to the craft. On January 29, 1960, during a pre-Broadway performance of There Was a Little Girl at Boston's Colonial Theater, Heydt completed his first scene and exited the stage. Moments later, he suffered a fatal heart attack. Fellow actor Joseph Curtis carried him to his dressing room, but it was apparent that he had died instantly. Heydt's sudden death at 56 was a significant loss to the theater community. His co-star Jane Fonda was among those deeply affected. The production faced the immediate challenge of continuing without him. Heydt's understudy, William Adler, finished the performance and the run. Throughout his career, Heydt was known for his professionalism and the authenticity he brought to his roles.
Did he give you a pain?
Right in
Look,
my...
get out. Not yet, we got a few.
Bonus: the tragic death of Owen Hart. While not a Hollywood performer, the untimely death of professional wrestler Owen Hart during a live event remains one of the most shocking moments in entertainment history. Born on May 7, 1965 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Owen Hart was a member of the illustrious Hart wrestling family. Known for his exceptional athleticism and charisma, he gained fame in the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF, now the WWE, under the persona of the Blue Blazer, a masked, superhero-like character. On May 23, 1999, during the WWF's Over the Edge pay-per-view event at Kansas City's Kemper Arena, Hart was scheduled to make a dramatic entrance from the rafters, being lowered into the ring via harness and grapple line. The stunt was intended to portray the Blue Blazer as a comical superhero, with Hart releasing himself just above the ring to create a humorous fall. Tragically, as Hart was being lowered, he fell 78 feet, landing chest first on the top rope near a turnbuckle. The impact caused severe internal injuries, and despite immediate medical attention, Hart died from internal bleeding caused by blunt force trauma. He was 34 years old. The incident was not broadcast on television, as a pre-taped vignette was airing at the time. In the arena, the audience was initially unaware of the gravity of the situation, thinking it was part of the show. Announcer Jim Ross informed viewers that the incident was not scripted and emphasized its seriousness. The event controversially continued after Hart was transported to Truman Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Hart's death led to widespread criticism of the WWF's decision to proceed with the event. The following night, a special episode of Raw is War, titled Raw is Owen, paid tribute to Hart, featuring wrestlers sharing memories and dedicating matches in his honor. The episode achieved a 7.2 Nielsen rating, making it one of the highest-rated episodes in the show's history. In the aftermath, Hart's widow, Martha Hart, filed a lawsuit against the WWF, alleging negligence in the equipment and planning of the stunt. The lawsuit was settled in November 2000 for $18 million, which Martha used to establish the Owen Hart Foundation, supporting various charitable causes. Number 3. Nelson Eddy.
I married an angel. I'm sure that said the change.
Imagine a celebrated singer delivering a heartfelt performance, only for the melody to be abruptly silenced. This was the tragic end for Nelson Eddy. Born on June 29, 1901 in Providence, Rhode Island, Nelson Eddy was a renowned baritone and actor, best known for his film collaborations with soprano Jeanette MacDonald. Their on-screen chemistry in musicals like Rosemary and Maytime captivated audiences during the 1930s and 40s. On March 6, 1967, while performing at the San Souci Hotel in Palm Beach, Florida, Eddy was in the midst of singing when he suddenly collapsed on stage. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but was pronounced dead upon arrival, having suffered a massive stroke at the age of 65. Eddy's death marked the end of an era for operatic film musicals. His rich baritone voice and charismatic presence had made him a beloved figure in both Hollywood and the concert stage. His frequent co-star, Jeanette MacDonald, was devastated by the news, as the two had shared a deep personal and professional bond. Reflecting on his career, Eddy once said, "I'm a singer. I can sing opera, oratorio, lieder, or a popular ballad, but I am not a movie star." This humility endeared him to fans and colleagues alike.
I've only made 16 pictures my whole career. That's not many pictures as pictures go, but some of them went very well, and so I picked up the reputation of being a movie actor. And, well, let's say a movie singer. She did most of the acting, believe me.
Number 2, Joseph E. Howard.
Goodbye, my lady love, honey.
Imagine leading an audience in a heartfelt sing-along, only for the final note to mark your own farewell. Such was the poignant end for Joseph E. Howard. Born on February 12, 1870 in New York City, Joseph Edgar Howard was a prolific composer, lyricist, and performer. He gained fame in the early 20th century with hits like Hello, Ma, Baby, and I Wonder Who's Kissing Her Now. On May 19, 1961, at the age of 91, Howard was performing at Chicago's Opera House. During the curtain call, he led the audience in a rendition of Let Me Call You Sweetheart. As he blew kisses to the crowd, he suddenly collapsed on stage. Despite immediate medical attention, Howard was pronounced dead, having suffered a heart attack. Howard's death was a profound loss to the entertainment community. His career spanned vaudeville, Broadway, and early television, showcasing his versatility and enduring appeal. He once reflected, "I live to entertain, and that's all I've ever wanted to do." This dedication was evident in his continuous performances well into his later years. Throughout his life, Howard collaborated with various artists, including his wife, Ida Emerson, as part of the songwriting duo Howard and Emerson.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello.
Number 1, Alan Marshall.
Because it's you and I, that's the chief difference. You and anybody else.
Imagine an actor delivering his lines with charm and grace, only to have the curtain fall on his life mid-performance. This was the tragic fate of Alan Marshall. Born Alan Marshall Wiley on January 29, 1909 in Sydney, Australia, Marshall was the son of actors Irby Marshall and Leonard Wiley. He began his acting career in Australia before moving to the United States, where he gained recognition in Hollywood films such as House on Haunted Hill and The Garden of Allah. His suave demeanor and versatility made him a sought-after leading man. On July 13, 1961, while performing in the play Sextet alongside Mae West at Chicago's Edgewater Beach Playhouse, Marshall suffered a heart attack on stage. He was immediately taken to a nearby hospital and was pronounced dead upon arrival. He was 52 years old. Marshall's sudden death was a shock to the theater community and his fans. Mae West, his co-star, was deeply affected by the incident, as the two had developed a close working relationship during the production. The play, which was later adapted into the film Sextet in 1977, had to continue without it, leaving a void that was hard to fill. Throughout his career, Marshall was known for his professionalism and dedication to his craft. He once remarked, "Acting is not about being famous. It's about exploring the human soul." This philosophy was evident in the depth he brought to his roles, whether on stage or screen.
I don't know the answer myself. You say we're happy? Well, let's leave it at that. It's something I know nothing about. Very well, then we're happy, it's agreed.
If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more gripping content. Dive into our other videos for more Hollywood curiosities and untold stories. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.